Hello, everyone. It's Alex Ward from Maxwell Devonshire Realty. I am here today with David from Atta-Boy Home Inspections. We were regularly scheduled for 9 a.m., but David, as a hardworking home inspector, had a home inspection booked for 9 last minute. So you can't turn those down. You know how hard it is to book a home inspector right now. So happy that David was able to serve his realtor and client. So thank you so much, David, for joining us today. David is going to just briefly talk about himself and then go right into his presentation. And I apologize, we're not live on Facebook, just some computer problems, not able to get it going today. But take it over, David. It's all you.
Hey, good morning. Can you hear me fine, Alex?
Yeah.
My name is David Tiefenbach, owner of Atta-Boy Property Inspections. I started a plumbing heating business back in 2006, and I've been in the plumbing, gas fitting, HVAC, for about 24 to 25 years now. And I ended up selling my business in early 2018 and starting Atta-Boy late 2018, and then started to do the property inspections about mid 2019. I believe every home has a story to tell, and it's my job to relate that story to the client. I also believe it's important to give options and solutions. And obviously buying a home is a big investment. So I believe to choose right the first time. Atta-Boy Property Inspections.
David, you're not sharing. Sorry, David, you're not sharing your screen yet.
I'm not sharing my screen yet. It shows it on mine.
Okay,
oh no.
Let's just stop this.
Go back. Yeah. So where did you go? Oh, fuck.
Just try again. Just try again.
Okay, hang on. My share. I don't even have my. I'm at my presentation, Alex, but it doesn't say share screen now.
No, you'll have to share the screen through Zoom. Click share screen on Zoom, then it'll bring you up to the box.
There we go. Share screen to the box. Click, double click.
Boom, now you're in.
Now I'm there.
Now we know what you're talking about.
Okay.
So welcome back. So everyone, the last 2 minutes, this is what he was talking about right here.
Okay, so where do you want me to start?
You're just finished talking about that, important solutions.
Yeah.
There we go.
Inspector Service Group. Atta-Boy Property Inspections offers a free concierge program. And in that concierge program, there's recall check, 90-day warranty on all the appliances except for the washer and dryer. We also have a sewer guard warranty, a mold safe warranty, and a 5-year platinum roof warranty with a 1-year structural warranty up to $100,000 coverage. Atta-Boy Property Inspections concierge program just adds extra value. About 2 to 3 days after the inspection, I get an email from the concierge service letting us know if there's any recall check on any of the appliances, which I forward to the client. About 12 to 14 days after the inspection, the concierge service reaches out to the client, introduces them as Atta-Boy's concierge service, and explains to them how all those warranties and policies work. They also guide them through the homeowner's resource. It's basically technical support for life. You don't even have to live on that new property that they just bought. It's free technical support for life. So any questions that they may have come up, maybe it's new shingles, attic insulation, even landscaping. Maybe they're going to build a deck or a shed or a fence. They have to email into the home concierge program and they'll get all the information for free. My plumbing heating background trade. I mean, this is a furnace and water heater that I actually just recently installed, probably just before it got crazy, obviously, with inspections. But this is something that I still kind of do on the side and love doing that kind of work. Atta-Boy, I bringing my experience through the plumbing and heating trade, I used to also install septic systems, lots of different well and cistern systems as well. We provide sewer line camera and any kind of outbuilding shop, maybe even a barn, which I include on the acreage inspections as well. And with every inspection, I always leave behind a home maintenance guidebook. One of I think the biggest things talked about between inspectors and realtors and the clients are always concerns about Poly B. Poly B is obviously, it's getting pretty hard for insurance companies to even provide insurance now with Poly B. But Poly B, we always hear about the bad stories about Poly B and never about, the things that haven't happened over the years. It is definitely something to monitor. I would never finish or complete a basement if you have Poly B exposed. Obviously remove it, replace it to PEX. But Poly B is something that definitely should be monitored, and replace any kind of fittings that start to show signs of corrosion. Another one is aluminum wiring, which is known as cold flow. So aluminum wiring is a soft metal, and as it heats and cools, it contracts, and the screws in the panel get a little bit loose, and that's where your arcing starts. So I always recommend an electrician to come in every 2 to 3 years to tighten up all the screws and to use their flux that they use, and to obviously pigtail all the outlets. And that should be serviced every couple of years. So aluminum wiring is definitely not anything terrible. It just needs maintenance. There's definitely lots of electricians out there who will say, I've had aluminum wiring in my house for 30 years and I haven't touched it. Well, that's probably true, but just anything to do with your home with general maintenance, it's always a good idea to maintain all that stuff. And here's a bit of a picture of a mixed panel with copper wiring and aluminum wiring. So you'll find that lots when they go to develop their basement, an older home, if they go to develop their basement, usually you'll find copper and aluminum together. And again, I always believe that every couple of years, aluminum wiring should just be serviced, just for safety. And with buying a home, obviously, here's a little sewer line inspection. Everyone always asks me, is it worth to get your sewer line inspected? I always believe, like, especially in the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and now even up into the 90s, I always recommend to get the sewer line scoped. In the 40s and 50s, you're going to find no corrode pipe. It's actually it's cardboard. It's a sewer line that's made out of cardboard wrapped in tar tape. So over the years, it definitely didn't corrode, but what happens, it pancakes. So after the 50s and early 60s, they had to figure out something else, and they brought in clay tile pipe. So in the 60s to 70s, you've now find clay tile pipe. And then in the early 80s, you started to see ABS pipe. So definitely, yes, sewer scoping. I mean, it's a big expense, and it's mostly for peace of mind. And there's definitely lots of different options. Once you find out the condition of your sewer line and what material it's made out of, there's lots of different options you can use to replace that line, or to even just use a liner inside the old one. So highly recommend sewer scoping all the time. I designed a straightforward price guide, so it just basically gives transparency for the client. I have a flipbook brochure link out there that the realtors are using to share with their clients. They can click on the link, and I just basically built everything around price guide wise with square footage and the year of the property. Pretty straightforward, nice, neat, and clean. And that's about it. I thank you for your time.
Well, thank you, David. So I'm going to let you leave this contact information up there for a little bit, and then you and I'll just ask you some questions here. So, Polly B, what is the best way for an agent to, like, what should they be looking for when that first time through a home about Polly B?
I do have lots of realtors who will actually FaceTime me and take me into the mechanical room. And definitely what they should be looking for is on the header system itself, you'll see two copper headers with the dark gray lines coming off. That's usually a good sign that it's poly B. And you want to be looking at the rings. It's always where it fails is usually on the hot side and at the rings. So you want to look for white flakes, which is calcium, or really dark green that you'll see on the copper header itself. Those are usually good signs that you're probably going to need some maintenance.
Okay. And for acreages, so what's your bound? Like, what areas do you service or serve?
Geez, I've been in all the counties. I've been as far out as Athabasca, Leduc County, Strathcona County, Parkland County. I'll go pretty much anywhere. I've traveled out, an hour and a half to almost even a couple hours.
Well, that's a fair bit of driving.
It is.
Yeah. Okay. Can you go just back up to your price list for 1 second? Because I had another question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, perfect. So for your air quality test and mold asbestos test, so then so someone does a normal home inspection, they get the results typically right away. How long do they have to then wait if they're doing an air quality test or mold or asbestos test?
Yes, right after the inspection, I'll take the samples in and I can always put a rush order on it, and usually within 24 hours.
24 hours. Okay, so that's
Yeah,
so essentially don't save your home inspection if you're doing this stuff to the last day before condition removal. Give yourself some
exactly.
time. Make sure that you give
Exactly.
yourself enough time to get results back to make a informed decision, so you're not potentially spending money for a home inspection and then not getting all of the results that you want.
Absolutely.
And then David, what's the best way to book with you?
Best way to book with me right now is just call or text me. I send out my flipbook brochure, which is actually what you see in front of you here. And I send out a questionnaire that the realtor fills out, and I do everything online with the client. It's all done and signed off before I even arrive. In about a week or two, my funnel system should be ready. So you're going to be able to actually just go right online, pick a window that you want to book and put in the information, and it's done.
Which is what happened today.
Exactly.
So that's what happened today.
And I
So
forgot
we
to
know
book
it
off.
works. We know it works. So there you go, people. You know it can be booked. So go on, check out the site, book directly through that way, or contact David yourself if you're one of the agents. I know you have a home inspection that you need to get to. You're parked in front of the house right now.
I
So
am.
I will let you get to it and say thank you so much for joining us again today, David. It's always a
My
pleasure
pleasure.
having you out at our home inspections. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Alex. I appreciate the time.
Okay. See you guys.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.